I'm looking around. I'm looking at guys smoking cigars, and they got a couple extra cigars stuffed in the pocket, and I'm just like, so F me, huh? So all right.
Welcome to Beat Everyone. I'm Ben Flanagan with AL.com, and it's Tennessee Hate Week. They got Alabama in Knoxville last year, obviously the second time in about 100 years or so, but that makes Saturday in Tuscaloosa a revenge game. Under the lights in Bryant-Denny Stadium, 6:30 p.m. SEC Nation's going to be in town. It's another big one. We got a lot to cover all week, but the only way to get Tennessee Hate Week started is to talk to a legend who never lost to the puke inside of a pumpkin orange Tennessee team. This guy is like I said, total legend in the third Saturday in October rivalry. Two-time first team All-SEC, two-time consensus All-American, BCS national champion in 2009, Super Bowl champion in 2012, blocked not one, but two field goals to seal a thriller in Tuscaloosa back in 2009, now coaching defensive line at Southwest Mississippi Community College, number 62, Terrence Cody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Man, Terrence, like I said, it's Tennessee week. I wonder, is it extra special for you at all because you've become such a huge part of the history of this rivalry? It seems like one that you might look forward to.
I actually do look forward to it. One of the reasons because it's like every year they play the highlight every year and stuff. So see myself on TV once again. I ain't seen myself on TV in playing on TV and so quite a bit of years and stuff. But it always brings back great memories and stuff to see that highlight and to see everybody still remembers it.
So before we get to the blocks, I'm just curious, take us into the locker room before and after a Tennessee game. Like you beat them twice, and you beat them by 20 in Knoxville in your first season in Alabama, and then obviously the 12-10 thriller in 2009. Everybody knows about the cigar tradition, what it's like for the fans, but what is it like for the players once it's over and you guys hit the locker room after beating them?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to play them that my first year at Bama, that 08 year. I had to stay back because I had injured myself in the Ole Miss game prior to that. But the second year, the 09 year, I didn't know much about the rivalry and stuff. I didn't know much about it until I started paying attention to on campus and seeing how everybody acted that week. And it's like a lot of hate. Like you think the Auburn rivalry is a lot of hate, but this one I think is more hate in this rivalry than it is in the Auburn rivalry. And that whole week, like it was like guys were just on edge. People were practicing pissed off. That's how we approached the game. Even though we were beat up going to that game, but we knew we had a mission that week, and we just had to go out and execute. And we executed more than they did and win the game.
In 2009, Terrence, y'all are obviously undefeated all year. Y'all have won 7 straight games up to that point, I believe. You're coming off of a really hard-fought win over South Carolina the week before. You're ranked number 1 in the country, and there's a bye after the Tennessee game. Y'all need a break, clearly, but it's never easy in the SEC. It's Lane Kiffin's first and only year as the Tennessee head coach. Y'all only give up 76 rushing yards, and they've got some studs on the other side of the ball in terms of Hardesty and Bryce Brown. Neither offense can really get it going, and it's a total battle. What do you remember about why this game was so tight?
I would say what made it more tight because we were trying to get back to the SEC championship, and they were just another team on the list. And we approached that game, even though every game is an important game, but I felt like that game was a more important game than the others. And I think that was because they were also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were also undefeated going into that game. They had a really good defense. Our defense was really good. They had a good offense, and our offense was good. So it was like a battle. It was like a clash of the Titans and stuff that game. I just remember like each play was like just grinded out type plays and stuff where you had to go full tilt and stuff. And it was a grind, and I think it was just a big game because we had a lot to lose on that game. Because if we lost that game, I think we would have slipped out of the SEC championship and probably slipped out of the national championship as well.
Yeah, for sure. Everything was on the line at that point with the BCS system. It was not the playoff where like a loss was okay,
Mm-hmm.
even especially in the 12-team era. After their first field goal, those of us watching the game on TV, you were obviously playing in it. We heard the CBS announcer say that their kicker, Daniel Lincoln, he kicked it a little low and that we should watch out for that later in the game. So he was obviously spot on in that moment. So early in the fourth quarter, Alabama's up 9-3. What do you remember about the first block? Like, what did you see, and what were you always trying to do on a field goal attempt?
Field goal attempt. I was all like me and Marcel. We was always trying to like just lay that guy out that we're lined up in front of, and that was our mission. I was like, man, we just embarrass him. Just put him on his back each time we line up on him. I could have got the first one he made, but I kind of stood up a little bit. I didn't get much on knockback. I got some knockback, but it wasn't much and stuff because I kind of stood up. I could have got it, but that next one, man, like we just laid that guy out, and I just stuck my arm up as I was falling, and I felt it. I felt it, and that's when I just like I think I don't know who recovered it and stuff, but I felt it, and I just took off running and stuff. And me and Coach Smart, he like jumped on my back and stuff like that. That was a great time.
I think on that one, one of the Tennessee players got the ball and started running, and then Javier Arenas ended up tackling him, bringing him down. Plays over, and so after a penalty on an Alabama punt, y'all get the ball back late. Really just need to ice the game at that point. You're up big, relative to it being a hard fought game. I think it's 12-3 at this point. You have the Heisman winner, Mark Ingram, who at that point, just a guy who never fumbles, right? And with about 3 minutes left, he fumbles. He gives Tennessee some life. They score with about 1 minute to go, and then the unthinkable happens. They recover an onside kick. They find the tight end for a big gain to set up a potential 44-yard game-winning field goal with 4 seconds left in the game. Terrence, we know what happened, but tell us everything that you saw through your eyes.
Well, going into that, prior to that, I was just like, we're going to get this. We got this. We got Julio and all those guys to get the onside kick. They kick it, and like one of the things like that you dread happened. And like that's when I got super like I got a little nervous. I'm not even gonna lie, I did get a little nervous. And then so I'm like, all right, we just gonna go out, shut them out on defense. And they made some plays. Got in the field goal position and got the timeout. We go out, and like the whole time in my head, I'm just like, I blocked one. Let's get another one. Let's get another one. Like most of the guys were like, I hear the guys on the sideline, TC, go block another one, block it again. And we call max block. And I just remember looking at Marcel, and I was like, hey, like, we got to go get this, man. We got to go get this. Either you or me, we got to go get this. And I remember lining up, and for some reason, I just knew it. I knew Coach was going to call the timeout. I think he said it as we were walking on the field. He was going to call the timeout to ice the kicker. And so we already knew that was kind of like we just line up and get ready for the timeout. So the timeout came, and like they had I've seen the camera. They had the camera on me the whole time. So like the whole time, like I was just thinking like, how are we gonna get back there? How are we gonna block this? Like, are we gonna block it, or like, are we gonna lose this game? Like, man, like we gotta do something. Somebody gotta step up. And so me and Marcel, we lined down. We got in like the perfect alignment and stuff where he was like halfway on him, I was halfway on him, and as soon as the ball snapped, we just like literally just like almost put the guy on his back. And I don't remember. I don't know if I like felt it or anything. The only reason like I knew I blocked it is because the crowd just went crazy and stuff. And like once the crowd went crazy, like I kind of just like I took off my helmet and started running down the field.
Well, I mean, so you look back at the footage. I mean, we've seen the photos, we've seen the Daniel Moore painting, right? Like we've heard. You said Julio earlier. Like we've heard that if Cody doesn't get it, then Julio Jones is right back there. He's 8 feet in the air or whatever. Maybe he gets it too. But you burst through the blocks like a man possessed, like you just said. I mean, it went right into your arm, and then your helmet just immediately comes off. You go running. Everything was on the line, right? It's a rivalry game. Emotions are high. Y'all want to stay undefeated. Y'all want to win a national championship. It might be slipping away, and then boom! Like, how do you describe a moment like that when the helmet comes off and you just go running? I mean, like nobody understands that but you.
It was, man, it was an emotional moment. A lot of people don't know what I was dealing with that night. So like that was the anniversary of my dad passing when I was 10. So I was dealing with a lot of that. Like at middle of the game, like I started tearing up and stuff, and I like kind of walked off from the team to the end of the sideline and stuff. And like the only person that knew what was going was Josh Chapman and stuff. So he checked in on me and he looked me in my eyes. He was like, "Oh no, like leave him alone, leave him alone. He know what to do. He know what to do and stuff." So I had that, and then a week prior to that week, I sprained my AC joint. So I had a bunch of pain I was dealing with. So I had got a shot before the game, and after halftime, the shot started wearing off. So like I was feeling everything in my the same arm that I blocked it with is the same arm like that was killing me the entire game. Like because you could tell I was playing like I was probably like 57% that game going into that game because I was already beat up and stuff. But you could tell like I probably didn't have my best first half of that game, but the second half I kind of kind of just like bit the towel and like, man, look, just put everything on the line, man. Just deal with it after the game. But I had a lot of stuff I was dealing with after that game. So when I blocked it, like just emotions, just like that's why the helmet came off and I just took off down the field and I just dropped to my knees and stuff and like kind of was like saying a little prayer and all that stuff.
But I mean, you weren't there in 2008, like you said, but you were more than there in 2009. You were that game. But what's the locker room like after that?
So funny thing, it's a funny one. So after the block and all that stuff, everybody was walking off the field. I had to do like 3 or 4 interviews off the field, on the field after the game. So I get into the locker room. So it's probably like 12, maybe 15 guys in the locker room. Still, everybody else is gone, and like I'm getting like the trainers, they're helping me take my shoulder pads, my jersey, all that stuff off. They wrap me up for some ice. So I'm getting wrapped up, and I'm seeing guys. I was like when I first walked in, I was like, we got cigars and stuff, and I'm like, and they was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, where mine's at? It was like, it should be in your locker. I was like, all right. So I go to my locker, there's nothing in there. And I'm like, so the guy who wins the fucking game don't get a fucking cigar. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? So I literally walked around because I wasn't going to smoke it. Like, it was going to be like a memorabilia thing. So I'm looking around. I'm looking at guys smoking cigars, and they got a couple of extra cigars stuffed in the pocket. And I'm just like, so F me, huh? So all right. So I didn't get a cigar for that game.
You're kidding. You didn't even get one?
I didn't get one, man. I didn't get one. You would think everybody would have been waiting for me to give me one and stuff, but like even Coach Saban had one, and I'm walking in, he's like, hey, good job, 62 and all that stuff. He has a cigar in his mouth. And so I'm like, appreciate the coach and stuff. And I didn't get one. So I came in that morning and stuff when we met as a team to go over the film. And I stood up. I was like, man, I just want to say F y'all, man, because I ain't getting no damn cigar.
Incredible, man. So, I mean, I assume like you never have to buy another cigar for the rest of your life if you're in Tuscaloosa or at one of these games, but that's amazing. Terrence, thank you for sharing all that. I think you're right. Like a lot of people don't know what you were going through that day, and it explains the emotional reaction that you had after blocking it. You know, they call you Mount Cody for good reason, right? You're a big guy, run stuffer,
Yeah.
but you're nimble. You're nimble. There's more athleticism than people might realize for a guy your size. You
Yeah.
know, there are these myths about what all Mount Cody could do on and off of the football field. You know, we had Mike Johnson on this show just a few weeks ago, and he said what a lot of us have heard in the past, people have put it out there that he's seen you hitting windmill dunks on a basketball court. Is that true?
Yeah. We were just playing around and stuff. And it was right after we got done doing yoga when we used to do yoga in the our little the basketball course that I forget the little facility everybody goes and works out at on
The rec
campus.
center.
Yeah, the rec center. So we did yoga up there and just playing around and stuff. And like everybody was like, man, they said Cody can dunk and stuff like that. And everybody was like, no, hell no, he too big, he too big. So they was like, man, show him, Cody. So like at first I just ran up and just like touched the rim and like everybody seeing how much distance I went above the rim. Like my hand, like half of my forearm was above it and stuff. And they was just like looking around, just like hell no. and and so I was just playing around. Like I didn't do it with a ball. I was just showing them like that I can actually do it and stuff. And so I actually did do like a little windmill, like pretended like I had the ball and I jumped and did a windmill and stuff. And they were just like, "Oh hell no!" Like hell no! Like that's not real.
No, it's not supposed to happen. It's not
Yeah,
supposed to happen, but
that
it
was the
did.
main thing. It was like, there's no way you should be jumping like that.
So this leads to this, Terrence. We see it this year, a guy like Caden Proctor getting looks on offense like we've never seen at Alabama before. I mean, splitting out wide for screen passes, taking the snap on a wildcat play. And we've talked about you on this show lining up in the backfield. You're paving the way for guys like Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. And then, you know, down the line, other defensive linemen like Deron Payne and Jesse Williams and others did the same after you did it. What's it like for you to see Caden Proctor get these opportunities on offense?
Shoot, I would say it's about time they made a package for the big guys, man. Because it seemed like it was going away ever since like Payne and Jesse and those guys did it. I didn't see it much in the past few years, like a jumbo package. And like me, the reason they did it with me is because I did it in junior college. They handed me the ball, they threw me the ball, and all that stuff in junior college. Whenever we would line up in our jumbo package, and then when I was in high school, we actually had like a wildcat formation where I would take the direct snap and go right up the middle, or we would put me on. I'll be like an offset fullback and take a fullback dive, and then a couple packages where I'll be tight end and I'll just either run like a drag or out route, and they'll throw it to me in the end zone and stuff. So it was I've always done it, like been on the offensive side of the ball, just trying to figure ways to like where I can, like my offensive coordinator's always found ways to where I can contribute on offense, not just on defense. And I was
Yep.
supposed to get the ball, and Coach Saban, he was supposed to give me the ball. We had a deal to where if I got either 350 or below 350, he was going to hand me the ball, and I was going to start getting carries. But I could never get to 350. I was always either 354 or 352 and stuff. And he was just like, even though you're 352, man, we betted on 350. So I'm like, 2 pounds? Like, come on, man.
And you said carries, as in more than one. So we would have seen,
Yeah, so I was gonna get carries. I was actually gonna get carries and stuff. Like
who's
we
stopping it, man?
practice it.
That's what we've been saying on the show with Proctor. It's like, who's stopping this guy, man? All he does is get first downs. Like, just give the guy the rock. Let the big man eat a little bit. I love
Yeah,
it. I love
we
it. Terrence,
actually
you
would
were on Nick
practice it in
Saban's.
practice.
Oh man,
We
incredible. You were on
practiced it
Nick.
in practice where he would hand me the ball and throw me the ball, and he was like, "You make weight now. That's gonna be you. You're gonna get that in the game and stuff." And I'm just like, "All right, all right."
It's got to be cool seeing it now, though. Seeing Proctor get
Oh yeah,
after it.
man. I love it, man. I love it. Love to see the big guys eat, man. Love it.
Terrence, you were on Nick Saban's first national title team at Alabama. You were such a huge part of that team's success. Nick Saban still talks about you quite a bit, about the impact that you had. What was the relationship like with Saban, and what do you look back on as maybe one of your favorite Nick Saban stories that you like to tell people about playing for him?
Man, me and Coach Saban, we had I wouldn't say it was weird and stuff. It was a genuine relationship we had. So, me coming from junior college and stuff and actually being somewhat of a freshman on the team, um, everybody was scared of him. And I was just like, man, I'm wondering why everybody's scared of Coach and stuff. And it all started, like, I'm not going to lie, like, he's intimidating as hell and stuff when you first meet him. He's intimidating as hell. But once you like around him a lot and stuff, you start to realize what type of guy he is. And when we first started traveling, I think it was like the first or the second game, and I started noticing, like, I'm like, why nobody sit next to Coach on the bus, man? And stuff. When we like come from the airport or go to the airport or go to the movies or from the movies and stuff, and I started realizing, it's like, man, nobody sitting next to Coach. What's wrong there? Like the guys in the back, it was like, you sit back, you sit next to him. And I was like, what? What are you going? What, you gonna whoop my ass or something? so, so I ended up one day. It was like right after. I think it was right when we landed to. I think it was the second or the third game. It's something I forget, but I know it was like the second or the third game. And we hopped on the bus, and I sat next to him. And I'm like, "What up, Coach?" And he looks at me. He's like, "What up, 6'2" stuff?" And so we started chopping it up, and I'm like, "Man, Coach, man, what's good, man? Why nobody don't like to sit next to you?" He was like, "Shit, I don't know," and stuff. So we started chopping it up, man, and after that, like it was like a ritual and stuff. Like to the game, away from the game, to the airport, from the airport, I sat next to him, and he's superstitious. So like we're winning. We're winning. One week I decided to like sit in the back because me and the guy we were talking about something hopping onto the bus. So I ended up following them to the back of the bus, and we're still talking about what we were talking about. And so the bus is getting ready to move. So the bus goes into gear, takes like probably drives like 3 seconds. The bus stops, and all I see is him stand up. He stands up. He's looking around. He sees me. He's like, "Hey, 6'2", you don't want to sit with me anymore?" Everybody turns and looks at me. I was like, "I thought you wanted your space, Coach." So that was a fun. He was real superstitious on that because we were on the road, man. So if we continue to have that bond, and then in practice, like we was the same way in practice, we would race to each drill and stuff. So like get ready for inside run, we'll be talking, and I'm looking at him, waiting for him to react. He'll look at me, he'll fake like he's looking at his paper, and then he takes off running to the drill and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, I beat your ass." He was like, "Yeah, you'll never beat this old man. I'm fucking 60 years old. You can't even beat and stuff." And then like every now and then he'll joke with me. I'll be talking shit to somebody, and he'll look at me. He's like, "Hey, 6'2", and he'll grab his nuts like, "Hold these" and stuff. And I'm like, oh man,
Oh man. Unbelievable, man. So
Funniest Nick Saban story I had. I think everybody knows about it because Ezel did the impression of him. So if you hear there's no calories in the air and you can't gain weight by breathing, that was towards me.
oh, wow.
Yeah, coach.
They play that
They
clip
all
every
heard
year.
coach. Yeah, that was my first year. I missed weight, and he got on me, and he's like, you can't gain weight by breathing. There's no calories in the air and all that stuff. And like everybody's walking into the team meeting room and they all overhearing it. And I was just like, oh man, and stuff. And I go in and everybody's laughing. It was like, hey, TC, there's a lot of calories in there. And they start breathing and stuff. Yeah, so that was the funniest Nick Saban moment I had.
Man, so you saw the lighter side of Nick Saban. I mean, we hear about it all the time, but it sounds like you had, like you said, a special relationship with the guy, brought it out of him. That's so cool, man. We appreciate you sharing that. Terrence, when we get the opportunity to talk to Alabama greats like you, we like to run through a little bit of a lightning round to close things. So we'll make this really quick. Starting now, Terrence, what SEC team did you hate the most when you were playing?
I'll probably have to go with Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Makes sense. 2008, you lose. 2009, you get revenge.
Yeah. And I think it was more so because of Urban Meyer.
Oh, interesting. You want to explain that?
I just felt like when I first met him, he just felt cocky to me. He was just cocky and arrogant when I first met him when I was in high school. So never liked him.
Okay. All right. Well, favorite Alabama teammate?
Favorite? Josh Chapman.
Josh Chapman. You mentioned him earlier about when you were feeling emotional in the Tennessee game. He was somebody who was there for you.
Yeah, that's like my brother right there, man. We had like a really special bond and stuff, and there's a couple other guys I can name, but like me and him, we were the first ones to like bond and stuff. And then Roy Upchurch, Trent Richardson, and Julio, and a couple other guys.
Just naming legends now. That's all you're doing. You mentioned the air ain't got calories thing, right? I was going to ask you, worst Saban ever chewed you out as a player. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the worst one. It's been other ones and stuff, but that one was probably the worst one because we had a scrimmage that day and he pissed me off so bad. Like I just like took my frustration out on everybody else in the scrimmage, and I still had to run after the scrimmage. And he's talking to me as I'm running and stuff. He's like, I don't want to do this, but I have to hold you accountable and all that stuff. And I'm running up and down. I wasn't trying. He's like, but you see how effective you are when he's like, just imagine if you were lighter and stuff like that.
Wow. Favorite game you ever played in?
It's tough. People would expect me to say the Tennessee game, but I'll probably have to say my very first game when we played Clemson.
Oh yeah.
I think that was like my favorite game. That's when I realized like how big like the situation I was in and stuff, like being an SEC player, being on one of national championship contending teams and stuff, and just like nobody had any faith in that year and stuff. So like for us to come out and dominate that first game and then go all the way to the SEC championship and barely lose and stuff. So I have to say that was my favorite game.
Awesome pick. Instant classic. One of the most important games of Alabama football history. Terrence, when you were in Tuscaloosa, your favorite place to eat when you were in school in Tuscaloosa?
I'll probably have to go with Hokkaido's.
Okay. Sushi guy?
Yeah, love some sushi.
We love Hokkaido. Terrence, if you didn't go to Alabama, where would you have gone?
Miami.
Yeah.
University of Miami. I'm a real big Miami Hurricanes fan. Ever since I was probably like 10 or 11 and stuff, been a Hurricanes fan.
All right. Let's hope they don't see him in the playoff. It's going to be a tough choice for you then. Toughest loss that hurt the most?
In college?
Yeah.
It's probably either at Utah or that 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 Florida game, but I'm probably have to say that Utah game. I feel like we got embarrassed on that. Like we actually played our butts off in that Florida game and stuff. Like Tim, he just made some great plays and stuff. So I couldn't take that from him. But to end that year the way we ended it against Utah, it's probably the worst loss I ever had.
So Florida it didn't feel good, but a little better because you know that y'all at least left it all out there. Y'all gave them a good game.
Yes.
But Utah, not as much.
Not as much.
Okay. Understand. That was a tough one. You made up for it, obviously. And on that note anyway, Terrence, when does Alabama win another national championship? When do you think?
I all right, at the beginning of the year, that first game, I was a little iffy. But I feel like these guys are starting to find their identity right now and stuff. And we still not a complete team. And I don't think we've played a complete game yet, like both sides of the ball. But everybody's growing. So, I mean, the season's long. It's a long season and stuff. So I feel like they have a chance this year of actually making it or being in the playoffs to get there. And if they keep playing and growing and getting better each week, I don't see why not and stuff. The defense is starting to come along. Offense is making plays. Quarterback is getting better. He's making a bunch of plays on offense. So just got to have everybody all in. Got to have everybody to buy in.
Well, one of the all-time Alabama greats, Mount Cody, Terrence Cody, we appreciate you so much. Good luck to you. Good luck to Southwest Mississippi, and you better get a cigar this year and for the rest of your life at the end of these Alabama wins over Tennessee. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing this.
No problem. Thank you for having me.